Am I recording? All right, there we go. Yep. All right, welcome to the first episode of the Getting High podcast. Today, I'm joined by Chris, ItsBenched, and
Yo,
Matt Rusok. Introduce yourselves, boys.
Matt, you go first because you're
Why
cuter.
you were introduced first?
You're cuter than I am.
Thanks. Hello. My name is Matt, aka Rusok. That is Rusok, no C. My socks are comfy, and that's why we're the mask. That's my mascot. I am a person that has a lot of interest in this group. A lot of stakes. Lots of Wolf of Wall Street kind of shit. And we are here today. Oh, I also used to do Twitch, and I was in college. I just graduated college. And now I'm in quarantine. What else about my life? Oh, I got my pinky stuck in an escalator when I was 4. It's fine though. It still works. Yeah.
Wow.
What a great intro.
Such a moving speech. I liked the we are gathered here today portion. I might have to hire you for my wedding, Matt. Not that I'm getting married anytime soon.
He's gonna officiate your wedding.
Yeah. Hopefully. What are your rates? What do you charge? Okay. This is me now.
Now it's you.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Hi everybody. I'm Chris, or Benched, or It's Benched, or Andy's second favorite besides that guy. I'm new to streaming. I play a lot of Minecraft, Bed Wars, and then I'm also the tallest member of Dude Mode Live, or just Dude Mode. I don't know what we call ourselves. What do we?
You and Ashton are the same height.
No,
right?
no. I'm half an inch taller than Ashton is.
That's what it is. Okay.
I take pride in that half inch.
Yeah. Okay. I gotcha.
But yeah, sense. That's really all I know about me. I'm just a nerd, kind of.
I mean, basically we all are. So as this is my first episode, I just want to give a quick little lowdown of like what this is. For me, I just want first couple episodes are gonna be me with a couple friends, and then within like specific friend groups, and then I'm gonna start mixing friend groups, and then we're gonna see how everyone interacts. Which I think will be a little fun, little social experiment just to see like, all right, how do my friends interact with each other, and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. So quick, you guys want to give any quick little updates in quarantine? Because obviously that's like a big thing going on right now. Like we're all kind of stuck at home and not really able to do anything. So what do you two? Obviously I know what you guys have been up to, but like just let's hear what you guys are up to.
Well, I've been getting more into streaming recently, I guess, is like the main thing. Like I've been trying to stream more on like Tuesdays and Fridays, and then just kind of like working on it in the off time. Cause like we had school like all the way up until like middle of May, or like, the first couple weeks of May, but that's all over now. So I don't really have much going on. So I figured I might as well use the time to like, just work towards something and just kind of try this streaming thing out. Also, the heat continues to rise in the Midwest, but my father refuses to turn the AC on, so like every day just becomes increasingly warmer, and yeah, I'm starting to melt. So that's another update as well. That's about it though.
Just do what I'm doing, dude. Just like open up the door behind you, like this shit.
What?
Yeah, just open up the door. Yeah. Just let in the air, dude.
There's a painting right there. That's my house.
Is that a Chris original?
No, that's a Chris's grandma original.
Okay.
Yeah,
because Chris doesn't have time for that, but Chris's grandma has time for that.
No.
Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly.
Understandable.
Exactly.
What have I been up to? I've been editing for Dude Mode. Trying to get some of that stuff in, sort of. I have a job interview on Tuesday,
which is
Whoa.
tomorrow by the day that we're recording this. So tomorrow,
Yes.
yeah.
In the June.
Oh no, 2 days from now. I'm
And-
fucking dumb. I don't know my dates. I thought today was one
It's
day. I'm a
Sunday.
fucking idiot.
It all blends
What?
together, bro. I don't know what
way.
you want.
I'm an idiot.
It all blends together.
Oh shit, bro.
I have a job interview in the month of June,
Mhm.
2020, and because I'm out of a job because I recently graduated and I don't have any money because
Where's
I'm
your interview
poor.
at, Matt? Where
Online.
you want to work? Online. Oh yeah, didn't you say what was it? Data entry or like
It's data entry, baby. They need
Let's go.
they need some Excellers, you know. That's
Did you ever find
Microsoft.
out if it was like remote data entry or is it like
No idea.
gonna be...
I'm just
Okay.
it's just gonna be whatever.
It's gonna be entry, yeah.
I just need money, and then hopefully I get that. But other than that, I've been watching Netflix. I've been there. You know, there's a series on Netflix. It was a Netflix original. I think it was a Netflix original. It's called Bloodline. It aired from 2015 to 2017. And you can watch all 3 seasons on Netflix right now. It's really good. It's a great family drama.
This,
Awesome.
this,
Are we
this
sponsored?
podcast is not sponsored by Bloodline or Netflix.
Why
Just
would
have
it
to
be,
throw-
Andy?
just
It's
have
the
to throw
first
that out.
episode.
I know,
But it
but I'm
could
making
be.
sure. You gotta throw that out there sometimes.
I'm also reading all the Game of Thrones books right there. I have them there. So I'm in the middle of the second one.
Gotcha.
That's
Wait,
what
there
I'm
were
doing.
books? I thought it was just the show. I didn't
Yes,
know they were like
Chris.
actually books.
Yes.
I don't
there
know
were
how to
books.
read. I barely got here on time because I couldn't figure out what the number 2 was. Like,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Damn.
you know, I like this a lot better because I can actually see the disappointment.
the
in Andy's
disappointment in
face.
my eyes, yeah.
Like, usually I can just feel it coming through the screen, but this is like.
Yeah, this is a little better, right? We get the
Yeah.
camera in there. Quick little update for me. Moved on from my last coaching team. Coaching a team called an open division team for Overwatch called Hive Minds. And obviously doing stuff with Dude Mode, here and there. So, maybe you want to talk about Dude Mode a little bit first, because that was kind of brought up by all of us at this point.
Yeah, true.
I think we should first talk about the team you're coaching, Hive Minds, and how their new slogan should be "Fear the Swarm," and not whatever bullshit it is now. I love you, Hive Minds.
I'm we're not gonna talk about that. As a member of that organization, we're not talking about that.
It was a good slogan, though. You gotta admit.
Fear the Swarm is
was-
pretty solid, but Fear the Hive isn't bad either. You know, it's
But
literally
Swarm
a
is
one.
just so menacing.
I think you know what you bring up a good point, but I'm not in charge of marketing. I'm not in charge of branding. It's out of my hands.
But Matt could be, though, right?
I have an advertising minor.
You know, I'll hook you up with the team owner and the team manager, and
Thank you.
yeah, I'll let you
Thank
know.
Sorry, because I saw you in the marketing building. I called you Rusok in front of all your advertising friends. I called you Matt Rusok because I didn't
I'm
realize
aware
your
you
last
did.
name was not Rusok.
It's not.
Yeah. So Dude Mode. For those of you who don't know,
yeah.
Dude Mode is a group YouTube channel formed by a bunch of people who, for the team that I used to coach on, and then the team that like you guys were subsequently on. Matt wasn't on the exact team, but it was closely associated with them. We all became friends, and we decided to go in on some content creation. Shut up. we all decided to like try something and like go for like a gaming YouTube channel, because we're all gamers. We like to play video games, and we like to play a variety of video games. So that actually just went up. The first video in a while actually just went up yesterday, Saturday. So good stuff to everyone who's editing, everyone who's recording. And yeah, so that's kind of what that is. So all 3 of us are members. I guess this is kind of the announcement that Matt's in it. So yeah, Matt is currently like the newest addition to Dude Mode. So
Thank you.
but yeah,
Glad to be here,
it's
Andy.
some good stuff.
Back to you, Chris.
Back to you, Andy.
So so that's just what dude mode is. So if you guys hear us talking about dude mode, that's what that is. So we've known each other for like 9 months now. And we've all been friends for about 9 months. It's somewhere about there.
We've all had a baby together.
What is the name of our
What?
baby?
All right, Matt, name the baby. Quick. You have 5 seconds. 5.
Lady Alejandra II.
Okay. Our baby's
Wow.
Lady Alejandra the
That-
second. I thought you were just gonna say dude mode, but
Yeah.
That probably would have made more sense.
just a little bit.
Any Alejandros out there, please send me your resume.
But
and
okay,
I'll, hook you up.
so since we since we have only really known each other in college, because obviously Matt just graduated, I'm still in college, Chris is still in college.
I'm old.
We have not, in that time, we've only really talked about college stuff, and we haven't really gone into anything in the past. So I want to delve deeper into your high school experiences,
No.
and get to see like how you guys were in high school, and hear any like fun stories that you guys have. So let's start off with some sports here. So obviously for me, you can see in the background, I was a swimmer. Outside of all those pictures, I also for 2 years did track and field, and I pole vaulted. I was absolute dog shit at it.
Working that pole, huh?
I was dog shit at it, so that's why it's not on the wall. Behind me are like on the record board, at the pool. Those are all the records that I had that were eventually broken. So yeah, obviously I was a big swimmer. If you guys want to go into your sports and talk about a little bit about that, go for it.
Like, I don't know about you, Matt. I didn't play any sports in high school, right? I was not a sport guy. I was always the one like at the football games, like managing the cameras that were like filming the guys playing the sports, right? Like I was that nerd. So we had like this. It was like a club, I guess, but we actually got paid to do it. Where we were live streaming we'd like control the live feed for the football games, because like football was like a huge thing in our area. It still is. Like actually a couple of the guys from a couple years ago from the football program went to the NFL, like got into the NFL this year. So like they put a lot of money into that. And so, we like live stream the games for like all the parents and stuff and like control the cameras. But other than that, that was like the extent of my my sports involvement in high school.
I mean, we can also talk about clubs if you want to as well. So if you have like clubs
fair.
and stuff, like feel free to go into that too.
Yeah, I was like involved in like basically anything involving a camera. So like I did a bunch of the photography for like some of the sporting events, and then I also did like mainly video stuff as well. Like anytime that the like principal or any of the clubs and stuff needed a video done, I was the one basically to do that, like film and edit it, which is kind of where I got into like just doing a lot of the work with my camera, which is why I'm now majoring in cinematography. So yeah.
Cool. In high school, well, it all started in elementary school in 4th grade. Was when I decided to play on the JV football team, American football.
Woo.
Unfortunately, not the true football. Although I did play a little bit of I can say true football, just football in 2nd grade, or soccer. This is a mess.
Yeah, you're making it a mess, by the way.
Let me think. So 4th grade, I started playing American football, and then that continued through junior year of high school. So if you count all that up, that's like 7 years. So I played football for 7 years, jacked out of my mind. Absolute legend, absolute the tightest end on that field for sure. And then I played linebacker on defense. And then let me think. That was that. And then in high school, I was only in one club because our high school was very not artsy. So it was more based on like science and math. And the only club I was in was the Spanish club.
Do you know any Spanish, Matt? Can you
I
Speak
do,
to
but
us.
I don't want to offend anyone.
That's probably a good. That's probably a good thing.
Okay,
That's probably a good thing.
I took 4 years of Spanish and I know just the basics.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna offend anyone. Just know that I can and I will use it if I have to.
Yeah.
And then, oh, I should give a little background about my high school if anyone wants to know.
Oh, no.
I went to an all guys Catholic high school. Now if you guys don't know what that's like, that is very interesting. You know, there's no girls, no distractions as they put it. And I was just a young lad with the world in front of me and 20-minute lunches. And you know, that was about it.
20 minutes?
was-
How do you even, like, to get your food and then to also, like...
Yeah, you
eat
kind of
and
have you
everything?
I'm a very fast eater. And you just kind of built that in.
Yeah, bro. I think I think
Wow.
in my high school we had, as weird as this may sound, it's 27 minutes. But it was the 27
it
minutes
works.
was the bell ringing for you to go back to your class. So like then you had 3 minutes, so it was technically like 30 minutes, but like that 3 of the minutes were meant for travel because we had 4 floors and it was just like awful.
Okay.
We only had 2, but it was elongated. Is
Yeah.
that the word? Yes.
Yeah.
Did
Like
you guys
Amazing
have,
the word.
Did you guys have, like, separate lunch blocks? Like,
Yeah.
where...
yeah.
We had 3.
So, like,
We had
not
4.
everybody would have, like, the same lunch. Yeah, we had 4 as well. We had, like, I think, like, 35-minute lunches, which, like, left a lot of time for, like, extra shenanigans to happen after. So there was one time where, like, I think it was my sophomore year. It was infamous, right? Where 2 guys got into a fist fight over a bag of chili Fritos,
Nice.
broke, like, a table. Like, a police officer had to come over and separate them, and then, like, ever since then, it was just known as the chili Fritos incident.
The chili Frito incident. Nice.
Yeah, like, that table, like, it was like somebody found the broken table. Like, they didn't throw it out for some reason, and then somebody stole the broken table afterwards.
Yo,
So,
that's,
like,
yeah.
some kid in my class just has the Frito table.
He
I'm
went home with a
so
souvenir that day,
Dude,
man.
he probably still uses it to this day. To this day, he probably uses
Probably.
it. 100%.
I think everyone had those fights in the lunchroom. I remember there was like one where they broke the, like, you know those soda machines?
Yeah,
the-
yeah.
yeah.
Soda everywhere,
Yeah.
man.
Oh my
It-
god.
The glass on there is, like, more fragile than you'd think. Like, I feel
Yeah,
like
fragile.
every one of those things. Yes. Man.
Yeah, dude.
From-
I like actually,
Story.
crazily enough, I don't remember any fights in high school at lunch.
Really?
Like, granted, like you guys know this, but like I went to like a white supermajority. I live in a white supermajority town.
Privilege.
So like there's like, I think it's probably like 5% of like people who go to the school, or like even 5% of like the people in the town. I don't know the exact statistic, but like it's about there are like minorities. So like me being one of them as well. But like pretty much everyone was white. So like, and no one really had any issues. And if you had issues, you did the passive aggressive thing and just talked shit behind people's backs, and that was about it. It was the classic, dude. It's the classic.
Class.
Dude, there were a
That's how we
couple
do
food
it.
fights, but that was just like, I don't consider those fights because it's just like, dude, fuck it, we're causing chaos. And like those people are stupid, and like that ruins so many things for so many people. So yeah, food fights were just not fun to be around. But that was like the worst thing that ever happened at school.
Were you ever wounded in a food fight?
No, because
Like,
they never happened during my
tornado?
they never happened during my periods of lunch
come
ever.
on.
Throughout my 4 years, there was no food fight in my like lunch period ever.
So you just heard about it.
Yeah, so
Like,
so I'd be in
wow.
class and then I'd be getting like Snapchats from people who are in there, like from my friends, and it'd be like, yeah, this just like this food fight just happened. I'm like, I just had lunch, bro. Or like I have lunch next or some shit, and I'm just like, fuck this, dude. It's just so dumb. Food fights are so stupid too. Like I like what do you get out of it? What do
Nobody
you
wins.
get? No.
Everybody's just dirty and
Everyone's
stained.
everyone's
afterwards.
dirty, food's everywhere, and you're making it so much worse for the janitors, who by the way are nice people. Like 90% of the time are nice people. So you're just being an asshole to those nice people. So it's just like it's not worth it.
I don't think I've ever met a mean janitor. Like at least in high school. Like everybody loved the janitors.
I say 90%. Yeah, for me, I never say 100% because there's always those outliers. So I always give the default 10% of there's the 10% of people who are just fucking suck. But yeah, no, it's just the food fights are stupid.
Oh, I also played tennis in high school.
You
seem like
played
a
tennis?
No, I can see it.
Yeah. I played tennis. I actually played tennis all my life.
The tightest of ends playing tennis. Interesting.
That's me, baby.
I actually played tennis all the way up until like 8th grade, and then I stopped. Matt, we should have a match. We should have a tennis showdown.
Dude, we should destroy you.
I'm down. Yeah. Are you
I'm
sure?
I'm left-handed.
Oh
Yes,
no.
I'm left-handed.
Okay. That...
I got some spin on that serve, baby. You don't even know it's going that
but
way.
I've
You don't
got
know which way it's going.
I've got the reach. I'm like a stick bug. You see? Like, look at the... like a brown praying mantis, as
A brown praying mantis.
Yeah.
So when you mate, you're
If
just gonna
I'm
get
the
eaten?
tightest end, you're the brown praying mantis.
Let's not.
Yeah.
Let's not start this shit. Let's not start this shit.
Okay.
Like,
but
that's our
tennis
superhero
showdown.
names.
Tight end.
So I think this kind of. I'm gonna get into the next question. Like, so in high school,
All
like,
right.
what were the like?
Oh, there
what
are
were
more
the
questions?
Yeah. So what were the groups of people you hung out with? So like for me, I hung out with like a ton of different groups because I was never able to like settle down with one group before someone or something just drove me fucking insane. So I like always bounced between. So for me, it was like the swimmers, who are often seniors. So yeah, when I lost all my friends freshman year, that kind of going freshman year to sophomore year kind of fucking sucked. And then there was like a group of girls that I hung out with, and then there were like the band kids. Even though I wasn't in band, I hung out with the band kids. So it was like those are my three. Oh, and like people from middle school that like ran cross country, but I didn't run cross country because fuck that. Fuck running 3 miles for a competition. I'll run 2, 3's too much. So yeah. So like what were the kinds of people that you guys hung out with?
All the football people.
Kind of figured you were gonna say that.
And then once I started to hate all of them, no offense to football people, I was one of you, I get it. But once I moved on, I just hung out with all the computer people. I'd actually, there were no classes in my high school that were relevant to my major in college at all. Like I'm majoring like post-production in film and stuff. There was one graphic design class that was the basics of Photoshop, and that's all they offered. They didn't offer any film classes or anything, so I took that one. That was a joke. So I mostly hung out with like the football people, and then junior year I hung out with whoever I could find.
That's fair.
Nice. For me, I think it was kind of weird because my group. So I was a band kid all the way up until like 8th grade. Like I played the saxophone until like from like elementary school to like 8th grade. So I knew a lot of like the band people kind of. Kind of going up through middle school and stuff, and then Matt the star alto sax player himself there, but so I knew a lot of band people, but then kind of going into high school, I started to like meet different people like in my classes just from kind of like all like all across the board, and then we formed like this group like of like 15 friends or whatever that would just like just hang out together. So we kind of like had everybody from like the whole spectrum, I guess. So that was kind of it was pretty cool to just like get to know like everybody a little bit more and just like hang out with that good variety. But I think for the most part, like the computer nerds were like the ones that I hung out with the most. So yeah, like Matt, I was saying this. Matt and I could have been great friends in high school.
Probably.
Yeah, like,
Does anyone else play any instruments?
No.
like in my
Chris,
group or just
I know you
band?
play the saxophone, right?
Yeah.
Do you play anything else?
I'm learning the ukulele, but it's kind of hard because
Oh.
it's like, you know,
The uke, as
saxophone is
us
like
call it.
it's just kind of weird because like the ukulele is like, you know, strings and the saxophone is like buttons, you know. So it's a bit of a leap. But
I
yeah.
thought you were gonna say like, all right, it's a woodwind instrument. I thought you were gonna say something like
No.
semi-intelligent, and then you just go, it's buttons.
It has the buttons, dude.
It's got
Andy,
buttons.
do
You
you
know?
play anything?
No, dude, I don't play anything. I never.
Really?
So growing up, my mom was like, all right, you're gonna learn piano. And like
Pog.
even now, like my mom's like, oh, you could have been such a good piano player. You have such long and dainty fingers. And I'm like, all right, I okay. But when I was growing up, whenever I had piano lessons, I just like hated them. I wanted to be outside doing shit. I wanted to be like a chaotic little fucking annoying kid and just like running around the yard, just making noise, doing a bunch of bullshit, you know? And then whenever I'd have to like come inside for like an hour piano lesson that I hated, it just didn't go well. So I hated it. Now that I'm like 21, like I'm interested in like learning piano.
Old.
Yeah, now that I'm older, I'm actually like interested, but and so like hindsight 2020, I wish like part of me was like, all right, well, piano's like a really nice instrument to learn. But I've met people in my life that are like really good at piano, so if I need to hear a piano, I'll hit them up and be like, yo.
If I need to hear a piano,
just like yo, can you play?
I could really listen to a piano right now. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
yo, Johnny, can you just play me a piece right now over FaceTime?
That's not what I was expecting you to say. I thought you were gonna say something like, "I know a lot of people who play piano and they're all fucking miserable." Like,
no, like one of the people that I know, like he's like a musical. I would consider him a prodigy. He's like really really good, and whenever I see him, it's usually at my neighbor's house, and they have like a really nice piano, and he'll just sit down. He won't even say a word, and like he won't even tell people he's gonna about to play, and he'll just go off, and it just sounds so beautiful. It's so nice to listen to, and that's something that I wish I was able to do, but whatever.
hey, but throw Andy into a lake, all right? Then you'll see.
No, don't throw me in a lake. Throw me in a pool and I'll swim. Don't throw me in a lake.
Okay.
We talked about this last night. If you can't see the bottom, I'm not fucking going in. All right.
True.
If you can't see the bottom, you don't know what's down there, bro.
What if you can touch the bottom? Like, what if it's like a shallow lake?
Oh,
but
if it's shallow, I don't give a fuck. Like, it's whatever.
I'm gonna tell you it's shallow, and it's gonna be like 50 feet deep. We're gonna
It's
throw
like
you
the
in.
Jaws poster, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not. There's, yeah, that we went over that last night. So yeah, so from those groups of friends that you guys hung out with, are there any?
I
like...
played drums, and then I quit. Oh, and then after I quit drums, I played guitar, and I quit that as well.
Did you just remember this? Like what?
You guys didn't give me a chance to talk.
I forgot, dude. I forgot.
That was fine. I'll just interrupt you guys. So after I quit guitar, I hit the triangle once, and then that was it. And like Andy, I've always wanted to learn how to play the piano, but I'm too lazy and I don't give a shit.
That was the funniest shit, bro. Oh goddamn.
You know.
Wait, do you still play drums? Like, do you practice?
No.
Or... No.
No.
Okay. You don't even own like a drum set.
I actually quit before I even went into high school. So.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
But if I were to throw you like into Guitar Hero, like on the drum set, would you
mean Rock Band?
Pop off?
Yeah.
I guess Rock Band.
Would I pop off?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Maybe it does now. Maybe they're trying to catch up to the real rockers, you know? Like myself. You know, I think I have a great sense of rhythm, but I don't know if I could pop off. I know my it used to be like 1, 2, 3, 4. It used to like I hit my mic.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you used to like I remember my practices I used to do, and that was it. That's all if you gave me a drum set, I could recreate the practice,
Yeah.
but that's about
Okay.
it. It's been too long. It was like 7th grade, and then I play guitar, and I knew how to strum on the E note, and then I quit.
Okay.
Wow.
So what I'm trying to say is, don't quit on your dreams, because I could have been the next Van Halen, but
Yeah.
Now he's just
Yeah.
Rusok.
Now he's just
now
Rusok, the editor and gamer.
editor in
Failed
chief of
guitarist.
Dune Mode.
I don't know if we're giving you that title yet.
Really? Why not? It sounds so good.
It does sound good.
It does, yeah. So before I totally forgot that to even ask Matt what he would say, like what if he played anything. From those friend groups that you guys like hung out with and all that shit. Are there any like really funny stories, really good thing, like really stupid things that you guys did that you guys want to share?
Uh, where do I begin? That was basically just like the entirety of my friend group was just stupid things. A lot of us were in like the same Boy Scout troop, right? Eagle Scout, by the way. So we
Represent.
went on. we went on this like big hiking trip to New Mexico. Like 5 of us in I think it was like 2017, and my birthday like fell like right like on the trip, like right on those dates. So we were like probably like 8,000 feet above sea level, like on some like hillside or whatever, and we could see like so far down to the bottom, probably like a 3,000-foot drop or something. And in honor of my birthday, they took like these like square cookie things, and then all at the same time they lit them on fire and then threw them out off the cliff. I didn't condone this action, just to be fair. They kind of did it without my knowledge. They were just like, Chris, come over here. And like the cookies were already on fire. I'm not really sure how they got them to be on fire. But
Well, have you ever have you ever done the experiment in like chemistry class where you like light a like a Dorito on fire, and like based on the heat and like that it gives off or whatever. I don't remember the exact experiment. You can calculate the calories that it has or whatever. That's
no, what?
I've heard
That's
of
a
that.
perfectly good Dorito.
it's-
Why would I just not eat it?
because it's for science. It's to prove a point.
The reason I was laughing so hard in the middle of that story was because Chris said square cookies, and I thought a great like way to simplify that is to call it squookies.
Flamin' hot squookies.
Flavor hot squookies, bro.
So Chris, it's like junk food and processed food is actually pretty easy to like light on fire. That's basically
Okay,
what
well,
I'm saying.
That at least I have some clarity with that story now, because I was really like, I think they probably got like, I think the fires probably went out the second they like, because they threw them like a frisbee, right? They like pew, and then they went like flying off. They probably hit some cow that was like grazing in the valley down there or something.
I don't think Andy was in that valley that day. My drumming lessons. But there we go.
There we go. Got him good, Matt. But
I got
that's
it.
probably the most
Thank
like
you.
wild story that I have from those times. But there was plenty of other stuff. What about you, Matt? I bet you an all boys Catholic. Really? I thought an all boys high school would have gotten like pretty crazy. You know?
You guys did, like in the locker
yeah,
room. You guys
does.
didn't do some like crazy things. Like just all boys. Just
The locker rooms where boys became men. All right, in football. No, it wasn't really that. It was mostly just like, let's make fun of each other for the entirety of practice. And then like I didn't do anything bad because I'm too much of a goody two shoes, I guess. But I know that is actually really bad. Shout out to that bird in Chris's room.
Oh, you can hear that. Oh no.
This is pretty bad, and I don't know if I should actually say this or not. But during, okay, so our school had school shooting drills, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
As like all schools do. Yeah.
yes, and we had a lot of idiots in our school, and during one of so the code, I don't even know, whatever. So the code in our school was like broken arrow. If like you heard that over the intercom, you're supposed to like shut the doors and all that, and go into like a corner. So like after that drill was over, people would just shout broken arrow in the hallways, and then everyone would get super scared
Oh my
and like
god.
running, and like they would shout the code word, and then they would run into random classrooms and then shout it just to like disrupt and see how many kids would like run and leave. It'd be really interesting. And we had there was a lot of
Yeah.
elaborate like let's shout things in the hallway type situations at our school. And when you have all that testosterone, you can like blow the roof off the joint with the amount of vocalists. It's not the right word, but you know what I mean.
I have a question though. Wasn't the point of Broken Arrow to like stay like in the classroom,
Yeah.
right? So why if a kid ran into a classroom and shouted Broken Arrow, why would other kids try and like run out? Like wouldn't,
Cause as much chaos as possible, Chris.
so
I
they
don't know.
didn't care if it was actually like a drill. They just wanted
No,
anarchy.
it ended up becoming a life of its own, like it ended up taking on
Wow.
this mantle of like chaos.
That's so fucking dumb.
I didn't do it.
It's so
Did
fucking.
they ever
I
have to
was
like
in the,
change the name of the code? Like, did they ever have to change it away from Broken Arrow to make sure?
Yeah,
that,
I
like,
think they
kids
called it
wouldn't-
something else. I don't
Really?
remember. It was
Okay.
too long ago. I'm old now, but I know I didn't do any of it because I was in all of the honors classes and AP classes, and I cared too much about my grade.
Man.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Oh, that actually kind of reminded me of like a similar story. So in my senior year, like first semester, we were about to take this huge Spanish test, and everybody was so underprepared for it, right? And then there was a bomb threat, so they had to move us. Like on one side of the street, we had our main campus, and on the other side, we had like the wrestling center and like the big like pool complex center thing. So they had to move us all 3,000 students across the street into this complex thing, right? And there were like, so some of us were like at the bleachers by like the swimming place, and there
It's
were
called the
speakers,
pool,
like,
Chris. It's
all-
called the pool.
To get shit on.
Jeez. there were speakers all in like the facility, right? And so the swim team knew how to access the speakers. I don't know exactly who did it, but one of the members of the swim team started playing pumped up kicks over the speaker
I fought for the
system
people.
during the bomb threat.
Would it be
Needless
weird
to
if I
say
listened to that right now?
Yes.
Probably.
Yes, very. Needless to say, that did not end well for them, but that was quite the experience, just sitting there and then just hearing all the other kids with the pumped up kicks. Better run, better run. But you
Yeah.
get the point. Yeah.
That's
Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up.
that's what we would call in poor taste.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my one story I have is the story of my friends and I burning a bowling ball.
What?
Yeah. So apparently burning balls, if bowling balls, if you get it hot enough, they ignite as well.
How does that make any sense? Aren't they just like stone, or like aren't they
It's
just
so it's like it's the stuff inside, not on the inside, on the outside, like the paint and stuff. The acrylic is apparently flammable. I don't know.
Oh.
It's not like
I see.
super flammable, which is like why it's fine. But if you get it hot enough, it'll burn. Which is pretty much with everything. So I had a couple people over. My parents weren't home. My brother was supposed to be watching us. He's 15 years older than us, and he just didn't give a fuck. So we were just like, all right, I'm having people over. And there were people like who I trusted, and like people who like don't like cause a lot of problems. people I'd known for a while, from cross country in middle school, and so like I had him over. It was my other buddy Chris and his girlfriend, my buddy Jaren, and one of my buddies Owen, and like we were waiting for our last friend Nick to show up. But so in my backyard, we have like a massive fire pit. So we just have a fire going, and we're just hanging out. And Nick comes out on just the darkness of the night, and he just shows up, and he's just like, "Hey guys, you want to see if this bowling ball will want to throw this bowling ball in the fire?" And we all kind of sat there and we're like, "It's not gonna fucking do anything, right?" So like, yeah, sure, whatever, fine. So he runs to he books it to his car, grabs the bowling ball, and the only reason he had a bowling ball was because the bowling alley in our town had recently shut down and had given like the extra bowling balls to Goodwill. So he had just been buying bowling balls throughout the week. So
he had more?
He had like 5 bowling balls.
So you'd say he had a spare.
He did. He had a spare. I'm gonna keep going. So this like Nick had like 5 bowling balls, and like so he'd been doing random shit with all these bowling balls, and I think this was like his second to last. So he comes running with a bowling ball in his hands, and like the fire had been dying out, so we had to like relight it, get it going, and so we throw it in there, and we just start throwing logs around it. Well, little did we know, again, at the time, it's gonna fucking ignite, and it's gonna smell like something that's gonna give you fucking cancer. So we're finally just like, yeah, maybe we go inside. And this is when things get even better, as the screen door was closed, but the door, like the actual wooden door, like the glass door like this, was open. And my buddy Chris just walks into the screen door and derails it. And it has not been fixed since. That was like 4 years ago. That was like 4 or 5 years ago, bro. But
that would have given me a splitting headache.
I hate you. Dude, you're so dumb.
He was waiting for that one.
Yeah.
Strike 3, I'm out. You know what I mean?
That's baseball. What?
Fun.
But it's still the word strike is in it.
Yeah, that's baseball though. This is different things as strikes. But
America's pest.
So if you ever wanted to know if you could burn a bowling ball, just get it hot enough and it'll go.
Andy, you're gonna get like, this podcast is gonna go viral, and then there's gonna be a mass movement of just like lighting bowling balls on fire. Like people are gonna like walk into bowling alleys with like a lighter.
Dude, a lighter's not gonna do it. You gotta get that fire up to like, just like stupid hot levels. Like, if you...
We could do it.
Can you put it in the oven?
You could put it in the oven. It's not gonna fucking do anything. I don't think.
The microwave.
How big is your fucking microwave? What?
A microwave can't get up to like 500 degrees.
Yeah, a microwave can't get that hot.
Okay, the oven.
We already talked about the oven.
That's what I just said.
I don't think it's gonna do anything. It's gotta be like stupid hot. I don't know. I think there's also has to be a flame.
Dummy hot.
Dummy hot. Yeah.
The furnace? I could go like put it in.
Can bowling balls be substituted for coal?
No, because the thing is, all right, I'm not condoning anyone burning a bowling ball. I'm gonna say this right now because this is gonna get really fucking dumb if people actually start watching this. I do not burn bowling balls. The smell is awful. And like I'm 100% sure that there's, not 100, but I'm like very certain that there's carcinogenic toxins when ignited, when it becomes gaseous. They will give you cancer if you do it enough. So please don't do that. I don't.
Alternative forms of fuel.
It's not an alternative form of fuel. Just don't do it, please.
Matt has a progressive agenda.
And with that, we're moving on.
All right.
Last question on like the high school things, and then we'll move on to other things.
Okay.
So, if you were to look back on like your like last senior year, and you're looking at 2020, in 2020, are you where you expected to be?
No,
And on top of that, where did you expect to be, and how is that different?
not here. It's not.
You could elaborate,
anyway.
asshole. You
Oh,
could
yeah.
elaborate. We're waiting for you to elaborate.
What was it? First answer? No, because we're in quarantine and I don't have a job
Yeah, that's fair.
yet.
It's fair.
Secondly, what was the other one?
Like, fuck, I don't even fucking remember. Like, are you?
Anyway,
Are you where you
do
expected
I-
to be, and like, how is it different?
it's not different because I didn't expect to be not here.
What? It
I
is different
expected to
because
be-
you said no.
Okay.
So how is it
okay,
different
here's what we're
from
saying.
your expectations?
Oh, here's what I was trying to get at. It's not different because I didn't have any expectations for this moment.
Okay. There you go.
I guess I did expect to graduate, but like I guess that is an expectation. But I didn't graduate. Technically I did, but I didn't go to the ceremony because we can't have the ceremony in 2020.
Yeah.
And
And
then
you probably expected to
I'm
like
not-
still be in LA, right? Like,
not in high school. I didn't even know I was gonna go to LA in high school.
that's fair.
So if we're talking about high school, I just
Yeah.
I didn't have any expectations because I didn't even know what I wanted to do until I got to college.
Yeah.
So I was going nowhere until I figured it out, and now I'm still nowhere because I can't leave
Just can't go
my
anywhere.
state.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's fair.
Chris, how about you? Obviously,
Other than that, my life is great.
obviously, Chris, for you, it's your high school's been a lot more recent for you because you're the youngest one in this group.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes, sir.
But are you like is there anything that's like really different from like what you expected from like a year
Yeah,
ago?
like a year ago, I kind of figured like I've been trying to like a year ago, I was planning on building up like my like cinematography, like photography business, right? At least in this area. Like I was gonna go to school and then during the summer, come back, kind of build this up, work on making some connections. Yeah, Matt with the ooh.
Rule of thirds.
Rule. But I didn't really expect I mean, I wouldn't have expected that I was gonna be back in town, so soon. Like I'm not, from the Chicago area natively, so like, I wouldn't have expected that I was gonna be back in town in March, and then definitely like, I didn't think I'd be recording like a podcast right now with either of you guys. Like I didn't think that I would be trying to do like streaming and YouTube content stuff. But I think it's like a good unexpected.
Yeah,
Like I'm
it's
definitely kind of enjoying
okay.
trying this stuff out and like enjoying I don't know, just like taking a stab at it. So yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Andy?
Nice.
Where did you expect to be?
I expected to be graduating. Because actually,
Okay,
so Matt and I are actually like in the same high school graduating class, and I always, for some reason, I always thought he was
high school.
not the same high school, but like we're in the same like class of like the year we graduated high school, right? So I actually always thought I was like a year younger than him for some reason in my head, but whatever. See, in high school I expected to be over with in at least with my bachelor's in like 4 years, but obviously that's taking me a little bit longer. I didn't really expect to be coaching Overwatch, if anything. Like if anything, I expected to be. I expected to be still coaching swimming. But
We should have mentioned. Did you mention it was Overwatch that you're coaching?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know we talked
Hive
about
Minds.
Hive Minds, but I wasn't sure if people knew if that was Overwatch. Or...
Yeah, I said Overwatch, I think. But yeah, so I didn't expect that change in what I was coaching. Obviously, whole pandemic thing, that's never anything you can like plan for. And so that's just kind of whatever. So yeah, I realistically, for me, the biggest change is I'm not graduating this year. I'm okay with that. Because I'm taking my time through college because I'm putting a lot of effort towards coaching. So and trying to get into esports, trying to get into just gaming in general. So yeah, just networking, all that shit. Yeah. I didn't think I get when it comes to like the YouTube stuff, I kind of thought I'd be doing something similar. Not exactly what I'm doing now because it's a little different. Because I didn't expect to have like a group channel with dude mode. I've always wanted to have a podcast. I've had a podcast in the past, focused around competitive Pokemon. As lame as that sounds, but a couple of those podcasts did really well within that community too. So, and I always loved doing it, but I just never had a consistent group of people to do it with. And I think with Dude Mode and my goal with this podcast to get all of my friends to actually get to know each other a little bit more, I think this podcast has a lot more potential and is going to be a lot more fun than that one. So, yeah, dude, I love podcasting. Honestly, I love talking. I realized it's something that I love to do.
What? No way.
I just love talking. And I figured might as well do something with it, right? So.
Yeah.
I guess I still expected to be in YouTube videos with my friends, my other group of friends who I've known for much longer. No offense.
I mean, yeah, we had already addressed it. We've only known each other for like 9 months.
I have another squad that I've hung out with that I've known for like 6 years, and they did YouTube stuff, and then I was part of that YouTube stuff, but then they all stopped because it was mostly Overwatch, and Overwatch had its ups and downs for a while. But yeah, that's where all my experience comes from. And I still expected to be doing that, but then I didn't, and then I tried to start my own YouTube stuff, but I can't think of any content, and I'm not really creative enough to think of content, so then I didn't do it.
I mean,
I just prefer to be in other things.
Yeah, we're all kind of doing that right now.
That's fair.
We're all trying to figure out what we want to be doing. So, yeah. Moving on, obviously. So
good transition.
I stream here and there. Chris streams. He has a schedule now. And Matt used to stream, so we might as well touch on that a little bit. I think the big question is, what is the most satisfying thing about streaming for everyone?
I think I can say for sure interaction with just other
community
people.
Interaction.
Yeah.
Isn't that what everyone says?
I guess so. I don't know. It's just something kind of new to me. Just with the having a live reaction to what I'm doing. But I think it kind of makes the just gameplay pretty fun. And then also just being able to kind of show off just some of the antics that we already do off camera, and then it just feels like a very natural environment. As we're recording, you have this certain block of time, and then it's gonna get chopped down or whatever. I feel like on stream I can just kind of let loose and just kind of be myself, and it's a lot easier for me than if I feel more at ease than I do in recording sessions.
Yeah, that's fair.
The best part of streaming for me was being rated by Kefri.
You just had to.
Yeah, I had to. You gotta, even if it's Kefri, we gotta flex it a little bit.
True.
You know what I mean? That was a fun night. I have a lot of fond memories from doing it, but then I did it freshman, sophomore year of college and part of junior year. But then the second half of junior year arrived of college, and I was like, I should probably figure out how to do my major.
Probably, yeah.
And then because I used to stream for 8-9 hours when I would stream, so I'd put in quote unquote the grind. Not a day. I don't even remember how often I streamed.
Oh, okay.
I don't even remember how often I streamed. I just remember I used to do it a lot, and I had a lot of great people come in my chat, and I still have my Discord that has a lot of people in it that used to watch me stream, and really thankful for them. But I haven't released content in a while. I tried Valorant. I just got bored. So I guess I gotta figure it out. I uninstalled Overwatch for a month and a half, and then I reinstalled Overwatch. Much more fun to play now if you take a break. Where was I going with this?
I don't know. Hey, we're talking about streaming. So.
Yeah, streaming.
Yeah.
I used to do it. I do it sometimes.
All right.
Honestly,
Sunday.
Yeah, I think just for me, it's just letting the world just see how weird my friends are, and how weird I am. I think that's just funny in my eyes. Just because honestly, I enjoy when I stream. I'm streaming with people that I know I'm gonna enjoy, and I know I'm gonna enjoy spending time with. And it's like Chris said, it's a very different environment from recording, because recording, like, I think you get into this mindset of just like, all right, I gotta be funny. I gotta be funny, like, constantly, and we can't have dead air, and so we gotta make sure stuff is going on and all that shit. Whereas like streaming, you can be laid back a little bit more, and you set the pace for your stream. So it's just like, all right, well, maybe if I'm just having a slow day, like Chris was just playing some multiplayer
Bed
Minecraft,
Wars.
like survival multiplayer, and he was just like,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you were just like relaxed. You were playing, you were having fun. You're just talking to chat most of the time. And so like that's kind of, and then like the next day you could be a little bit more like energetic and playing Bed Wars and stuff like that, and you set the pace. And I think that's the best part of streaming. That's the most fun. Obviously I don't stream as much just because I'm constantly like bouncing between groups, or whether I'm with Hive Minds or I'm with Dude Mode, like, or just doing my own shit. Like I don't really have a whole lot of time to be streaming, which is unfortunate because it's something that I really enjoy, but it's something that, like, yeah, again, you get to set the pace for, and if people don't like that, then they just don't watch, and it's fine, you know?
One of the problems with streaming, I feel like, is because I kind of gotta say, because I don't really stream anymore, is because like it's so time intensive. Like you could start a stream at like noon, and like time will go by so fast, and boom, it's like 8 o'clock. So you like lose track of the entire day, and it's also like you have to put in a lot of time to get it moving. I mean, I did it for like a year and a half, and I only have like 300 followers. But that's because I didn't make any other content anywhere else, because I was an idiot. But it was just it was very time intensive, and I kind of ruined some relationships doing that. And I mean, it was fun, but Chris, do it. Don't make my mistakes.
Okay.
I'm here to teach. Give me a platform, and I will teach you to become the best Twitch streamer this side of the Mississippi.
Matt, Twitch coach. You have given me like such good information.
Twitch coach. I love it.
Like literally the only reason I'm actually like, set up like the way I am, like, the stream quality is actually, I think, pretty decent for what it is right now. Is just because like you helped me get stuff set up. So I appreciate the help on that, Matt.
Oh, anytime. And if anyone needs any voice meter help,
I forgot to turn on voice meter actually when I joined this call. Like I couldn't hear you guys for about the first 20 seconds.
Oh yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
I actually pin it to my taskbar, so I just have to click on it.
Nice.
Oh really? Okay, that's smart.
Very nice, very nice.
Giving advice live on the podcast.
There we go.
I think the last streaming question is just a real quick one. What's your favorite game to stream?
I'd say Minecraft, like hands down. It's like why I'm doing it right now. It's just because it's like so versatile and like what I can do. Like I could either be doing something like really competitive with it, or I could just be, like you said before, just like be laid back and just like talking to chat or whatever. I feel like if I'm playing Overwatch, it's kind of like, okay, it's like I have to be, trying my hardest, or it's like not going to be that interesting.
Yeah.
It's just kind of hard to get out of that mindset.
Yeah.
No, that's absolutely right. As someone who primarily streamed Overwatch, I didn't move from plat for like a year because I mostly just talk to chat and play comp, and then not learn and not improve.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I think single player games are really fun too, because not only do you have like a cool, intriguing story that people can watch you play through it, but you also have a lot of downtime to like interact with people. So like, I'm really into the Fallout games right now. I put so many hours in this quarantine into Fallout 3, New Vegas, and 4, and I think those are just great games to stream.
Great games.
Great games, baby.
I do.
Single player games. Have fun.
Yeah. I think for me, honestly, it's 100%. It's Uno. It's Uno or Scriblio,
no.
dude. Uno and Scriblio are so unbelievably dumb because there's so much potential just for like stupid shit to happen. Whether it's just be like drawing in Scriblio, and like you could be really creative with your drawing and not actually draw the thing and like just allude to it, or you could like Or like with Uno, it's a lot of it's talking. Like a lot of the time we're just talking, and then if someone gets fucked over by like a +20 because everyone has a fucking +4 or some shit, like yeah, then it just like gets really fun. And they're very simple games. And it's just kind of fun, honestly. It's really fun to play Uno. It's really fun to play Scriblio, just in general. So, on top of that, just like those types of games are really fun. And obviously, we're gonna be streaming. Like, Dude Mode's gonna be streaming Risk later today. Like, it's gonna be so fucking dumb.
Oh,
Good
boy.
luck.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
so dumb. But yeah, like it'll like those types of games that like people know and like are um kind of household names. Like Pictionary, it's Scriblio's Pictionary, um, just like browser edition, and I think everything like board games like that are just really fun to play because everyone knows what it is, and then you can just go in and play. And then like if you're just like a casual viewer and you don't like really know anything about the streamer, you can go into the game and be like, hey, oh, like, all right, he's playing Risk or he's playing like Uno, and I understand the game because I don't have to like look up what the fuck is going on. Like
Yeah,
you have to
there's
do for like
literally
Overwatch.
no risk.
Yeah, exactly.
Shut up, Matt. All right, before we get into the special segment, do you guys have any plans for the summer or after quarantine?
I hope I'll be going on a road trip like after quarantine. Gonna try and go like to Montana and then like down the West Coast like Oregon, Washington, California. I've been trying to do this trip for like 2 years now, and like every single time something has come up, I just think that there's some kind of divine force trying to stop me. But I'm like ready. Like I'm like
Yeah,
bro,
committed.
maybe you
I'm
shouldn't
not
go on
giving
that
up
trip.
this.
I don't
Listen,
know.
man, it's gonna be like the end of days if I go. Like I've been looking at the super volcano in Yellowstone, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like set to erupt. That's my theory. Is that I'm gonna go on this road trip, and then as I'm like heading in that direction, the volcano is just gonna explode. It's gonna take me out.
Right.
But I'm too like committed at this point. I can't back down.
That's fair.
Yeah. So that's basically my only plan, and then like move back to Chicago in like August, I think. Hopefully we'll see if this whole quarantine thing blows over by then though, but
Yeah.
I want to be in LA by the fall, and I also want to lose like 15 pounds. That's the goal.
Some good goals. I think for me, I want to have like we planned out a group like camping trip with like the Dude Mode people, and we were gonna vlog it, and then right before like it was literally set to go right before the quarantine started, and then it started,
Yep.
and we just weren't able to go. So like literally the week of, I don't remember the date.
I don't know where my
Traffic.
invite was.
You were invited. We talked about it like really early on.
Oh yeah, we did. I forgot.
Yeah,
about
you're an
that.
idiot. You were definitely invited.
I aim to please.
Yeah, so that's something that I still want to do. And then actually last night the three of us were talking about potentially doing a Europe trip,
Yes.
baby.
Europe trip.
I think obviously like let's just for us like let's everyone give one country that they want to go to in Europe, and then just give a quick reason why. So for me, honestly, I'd love to go back to Ireland. I went last year.
So mine.
You could also say Ireland. But the nightlife there in the city is just really fun. Especially in Galway, because that's where we spent like a couple of nights. There's so many pubs, so many places just like have fun. Just don't get too drunk because you'll get bounced from entering a bar, which unfortunately my cousins and I absolutely did. Oops. But yeah, so it's just a fun nightlife, and then even if you go like into the countryside and stuff like that, it's just the people there are just so nice. Everyone's just so open and so giving, and just really kind. So Irish people, I love to be around that culture and love to be around that again. Although their food just isn't that great, in fairness, but whatever. I'll trade food for culture any day, dude.
That's
Any
fair.
day.
I really want to go to Ireland too, just because that's where my mom's side of my family's from. So I want to go there, and I know I have some family living there, but I don't know where. But I know I have some family, so it'd be cool to like meet them. But if but because Andy is a jerk and went first, I actually want to go to Scotland too.
Yeah.
I think I'd look really good in a Scottish outfit with the bagpipes and everything.
Honestly,
mean?
dude, now that I'm thinking about it, you
I'm-
would. You absolutely would. 100%.
What did they call a kilt, right?
Yeah.
A kill, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Put this man in a kilt ASAP.
I want to also
Please.
learn how to play the bagpipes, so I could go there, and I mean, while we're trying to enjoy nature, I could just play the bagpipes and blow your ears out. I think that's a noble goal
It's
for a simple man like me.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. It's solid.
Thank you.
All right, Chris. What
Chris.
country? What country? Where do you go to?
For me, definitely like Italy, right? What's not to love? Beaches, booze, boats. All right, like we've got it all.
I thought you were gonna say babes as well. Like,
I guess babes too, but like boats. We could do a gondola ride down the canals in like Venice. You know, Venice is like such a cool place too.
Yeah.
Like I've been there like once, and it's like very, I don't know, it's just like such a cool city to explore. But I'm just thinking like Italy would just be such a good like country to go to. I mean, the food, amazing. Boom. Beaches everywhere. Ba-bam. I don't know. I feel like we could do some cool hiking too. Like I'm a big outdoors
Everybody
guy,
say
so, like-
heists. Some
Maybe
Italian
some
heists.
Maybe some like we could join the
Maybe those-
mafia. Wait.
Oh, we
my
can.
God.
Yeah. I'd be
All
a
right.
great second in command.
Oh yeah.
I don't think the
There we go.
mafia. I think that's what the mafia is missing today's time.
A good second.
A guy like me.
Yeah. Would you wear the bagpipes? Would you bring them over into Italy?
Of course,
and,
I'd bring them in. That'd be my signature. I'd kill someone with bagpipes,
old bagpipe.
and then I'd leave. And then I'd leave like a reed, like as at the scene of the crime. The bagpipe bandit.
Oh my God. All
I'm
right.
loving it. I'm loving
We're
the
going to
ideas
Italy.
that we're bringing right now. I'm loving
There we
the
go.
ideas. I think the Europe trip is the most amazing thing. While we're on subject of trip, I hate to get off topic, but whatever. Do you guys have a memorable field trip from your days of in high school or in like in life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So mine is
I have one, but I'll wait.
in middle school.
Okay.
My like in 8th grade, you get to go to Navy Pier. Like as long as you're not
I
like
worked there.
as long as you're not like a delinquent, you can go to like Navy Pier.
Yeah.
And
Were
so
you
like
a delinquent?
no, I was able to go. But I didn't do anything really dumb. Like I went on like the Ferris wheel with my buddy, and he and I were both afraid of heights. So I don't know why we did it. Like it was just the dumbest shit. I genuinely have no idea why we did it. But he also but my friend just kept like buying shit, and he like ended up with like an Asian rice hat at some point. Dude, I don't know. It was the weirdest shit. He was white, by the way. Like he was not
Oh my
Asian at
God.
all. He was white, and he was walking around with an Asian rice hat. And like, dude, it was just the most wild trip, just walking around. Cause like my chaperone didn't give a shit. Like in most chaperones
More
are gonna be like,
chaperone.
most chaperones are gonna be like, all right, well, like stick with the group and all that shit. But like my chaperone was just like, I don't give a fuck. Like you just go walk around. It was my teacher, by the way, too. Like so she was just like, I don't care. Go walk around. You can go off and like hang out with like other people and shit. And I'm like, all right, cool. But yeah, that's like the most memorable field trip for me.
Chris?
Wow. Okay, so I've got kind of like 1.5. So the first one, so in like I think 2nd grade, we took this field trip. Like the whole school went on this field trip to go to the St. Louis Zoo. Right? It's a really cool zoo. There was a bomb threat, so we had to. So and all the kids didn't know what was going on. Like we were just like, okay, we gotta like. The parents were like, okay, we gotta leave the zoo. So the whole zoo clears out, and there's like this helicopter. I'm pretty sure like now, like thinking about it, it was a police helicopter, but there was this helicopter, and some kid said, it's gonna drop the bomb, and all the kids started freaking out. Like the parents were like trying to get the kids under control.
Oh my
There was
God.
mass chaos, and it has gone down in history. Like even like in high school, people were talking about this
Oh
thing.
my
But still to this
God.
day, we don't know who the kid was who said, it's gonna drop the bomb. But it was like, oh my god.
That's funny.
It was insane. And then so they tried to like make up for it, right? I guess. Like they tried to plan more field trips. But for one of them, right? The basically it was like slave labor because if they told us, right, if you they taught us how to like package these little chocolates, right? And they were gonna do them as like a fundraiser or something for the district, like for the school. So they were like giving us like these drills on how to like properly, and this is in second grade still, like properly, package these chocolates without you know without like contaminating them. But the week before it happened, like a fourth of the school got sick, like came down with the flu, and they just couldn't do it. But they were gonna use us for free labor to package these chocolates and then sell them and make money.
Oh my god.
I think there was some kind of like investigation that went on like the year after, like into it, but it just nothing ever came up because of it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Matt, let's hear your memorable
in sixth and seventh grade. Both years were Six Flags years. So sixth grade we went to Six Flags and it was fun and amazing. But then our school kind of ran out of money. So what they decided to do, instead of going to the most fun place in the world where there's half of the park is a water park, for God's sake. But what they decided to do, instead of going to Six Flags, is to take us to a Holocaust museum.
What?
Probably.
What? Wait,
That's in seventh grade.
In seventh grade.
No,
okay,
sixth grade we went on Six Flags, and next year's supposed to be Six Flags Chapter 2. Like It Chapter 2, but it's Six Flags. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Seven Flags.
But Seven Flags. But then we ran out of money, and so the school was like, you know what'll cheer them up?
Holocaust
Going
Museum.
to the Holocaust Museum.
100%. That's what it is.
Yeah, because it was educational. It's probably the polar opposite of Six Flags. Now,
Yeah, I would assume.
The thing about the Holocaust Museum, very informational, and it's very important.
Mm-hmm.
However, that was the time when one of the girls in my class in seventh grade got her first period. In the middle of the Holocaust Museum, right when they were talking about Hitler. Like Hitler's bad.
Yeah.
But that was worse. Seeing that as a young lad, you don't really come back from that.
Wait, hold on, wait. Oh no, because you didn't go to an all boys thing until like high school, did you?
High school is all guys.
Maybe that's why you were like okay with that. Is this because you didn't have?
Maybe I was scarred by the trip to the Holocaust Museum.
Wow.
And
holy fuck.
I learned a lot that day, both about the Holocaust and about other things.
Wow. You actually kind of reminded me with that too. In like elementary school,
she was a late bloomer too, so I don't really know what was going on there. It was seventh grade. Come on, get your shit together.
Oh god. You just reminded me. Speaking of like young girls,
God.
Okay,
I don't want to know where this is going.
No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Okay, it's like bad, but it's not like in the way that you think.
Okay.
So in our town, there's like this, like one of the co-founders of our town back in like colonialism and all that, Benjamin Stevenson, right, is the guy's name. And so there's his house that's like
cousin of
2
Bud.
blocks from my house. Is like preserved there, and it's like a historic site, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in elementary school, they didn't want to like spend a lot of money on field trips. They would just always take us to go to the Benjamin Stevenson house. We went like once or twice a year. And so by the time you're in 5th grade, you've been there like 5 times. Well, so everybody's talking about the Benjamin Stevenson house. Come high school, our history teacher actually tells us Benjamin Stevenson owned slaves, and they told us whenever we went to the house, they told us about his indentured servants, but then never really made it clear. And then also, this is where this ties back in. He apparently sold his daughter
Oh my
into
god.
the sex trade in like the 1800s or something. And so like we're just thinking, why does like our elementary school curriculum glorify this guy as like the town hero? He sold his daughter. Like
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's pretty
That's
bad.
rough,
Pretty
man.
pretty bad.
yeah, that was
That's pretty rough.
That was all.
All right, are you guys ready for the special segment?
Yeah, I've been waiting for this.
Ready as I'll ever
All right,
be.
so
To be honest.
now we're getting to the special segment called "Are You High?" All right, I'm gonna ask these guys 4 different questions. I'm gonna give them a decent amount of time to answer the questions. I want them both to answer the question. And these questions are absolute bullshit. This is me like when I'm like absolutely just exhausted and my brain just gets fried, and this is the shit that I think of, and I just want to hear their answers. So, all right, first question. Are you guys ready for the first question?
Let's go.
All right, so the first question
Yes.
is, what is the hide and seek king of the animal kingdom? This is just a starter. I'll give you time to think.
Like all animals, like
All animals, yeah.
animals.
All
The
animals.
entire Earth.
Yeah, the entire Earth. Just any
Okay.
animal. Hide and seek king or queen, whatever the fuck. I don't know.
I can't say Matt as an answer, right?
No.
Okay.
Although
No,
I
because
am
we see
pretty
it. We
good at
see him
hide
right
and
now,
seek.
dude. We see him right now.
I mean, I am pretty good at hide and seek, so
Okay.
It's fair.
that's you.
But are you the king? Is the real question.
No. But you know who is the king?
Uh-huh.
Who?
Come back to me.
What the fuck?
Cut that out.
I'm not cutting like almost any of this, bro.
Wow, edit much.
I think I've got my answer.
Go,
Okay,
Chris.
Chris, yeah.
Okay, I think right. The sloth. Now hear me out on this, right?
That's a good one.
It's hide and seek. You're gonna stay in like one place.
Okay.
They're brown. They're gonna blend into their environment, right?
Okay.
And the sloth could like sit in one place more than like any other person, right? Like any other like animal. The other animals are gonna
Right.
get bored. They don't have the patience to wait there. You know, they've got stuff to do. They've got animals to kill. They've got babies to feed. But a sloth, when have you ever seen a baby sloth? You haven't, right?
Hide in plain sight type thing, right?
Exactly. Like the sloth
Right.
is just so lazy that he doesn't want to move. So, you know, by the time that all the other animals stop looking for him, he's just, you know, he's just vibing. He's just
Chilling.
in his natural element. To be fair, sloths do oftentimes when they go to the ground to use the restroom, right? Why did I say that? They go to the ground and they have to like shit. But the thing is that it's like so dumb because they have to go to the ground and then oftentimes they just die because they get stuck down there. So basically his time limit is like once he has to go, it's done. Like it's over. But I still think he'd win.
Okay. All right, Matt. Have you come?
You know
with
who
your
I
answer?
think the king of hide and seek is?
Mm-hmm.
Who?
The groundhog. Because really, when you think about it, the groundhog just in his fucking hole for like what 364 days a year, and then he comes out one day a year to see if he sees his goddamn shadow or whatever, right? But sometimes he doesn't see his shadow, so sometimes his life just has no meaning. Like all of our lives have no meaning. But really, the groundhog could just be underground and ground underground hog. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so
What about
he
a
can
mole?
hide.
What if a mole like digs into his tunnel?
The mole stands no chance against the groundhog that could see his own shadow. You kidding me?
Yeah.
He's got laser eyes. He had laser eye surgery. Groundhogs, bro, they're the kings of hide and seek. And you know that the Groundhog Day with Bill Murray, that Puxatawny Phil, bro, that groundhog was legit. I cannot think of a more better Groundhog Day celebration than to have that groundhog finally seek instead of hide.
All right.
What about you, Andy? Do you have the
These,
king?
these are questions
You
for
thought
you
about
guys.
this?
These are questions for you
Really?
guys. Yeah.
I had actually another thought while Matt was saying that. I think the tortoise is actually like the champion. Because if he finds a good hiding
real
place,
answers here.
well, no, he just like
Tortoise.
outlives everyone. Everyone's gonna die before the tortoise is like done playing. So all he has to do.
I think
just
the
hide in his
T-Rex is the king of hide and seek because he's hidden for a couple billion years now. Where do they go? They're just under the ground. Their bones are just chilling. What?
Are archaeologists the seekers?
Yeah,
There
they
we
had
go.
to
It's
count.
just one big game.
The archaeologists had to go to school and close their eyes and count to 1 billion in order to start finding the dinosaurs. You know what I mean? Like, dinosaurs are great hiders. We still haven't discovered all their bones. Where are they? In the ground, right by the groundhogs.
I think he wins.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
Matt's got a really good argument here. All right. Who wins in a fight? Sharktopus or Piranhaconda?
I've seen that movie.
Which one? Have you seen both?
It's like the sequel. I haven't seen the
These
first
are
one,
movies?
but-
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Sharktopus.
Dude, have
He
you
can't like listen, Piranhaconda, right? He's flying around up there, right? But you're telling me that like a piranha and a pterodactyl, right? A pterodactyl who's already extinct
What are you talking about,
gonna be
pterodactyl?
is gonna beat a shark that can grab you with like 8 tentacles. That's
Do
insane.
you know what an anaconda
There's
is?
no
An
way.
anaconda is a snake.
I thought it
called
was a
Piranhaconda.
snake.
Piranhaconda is
sorry,
half
no, the
is half
movie that
piranha.
I saw was Piranhadactyl. Was the
Oh,
movie
okay.
that I saw. It was like a piranha and a pterodactyl. Sorry, I was getting it mixed
Yeah.
up. But still, either
Well-
way, Sharktopus beats Piranhaconda's ass. Like, there's no way.
But is it a water fight? Because I think they can only survive on water, right? In water, they can't survive on land.
both of them are fine in the Well, if you've seen Sharktopus, the Sharktopus is fine on land for some fucking reason. I don't know.
That's because he has the gills of an octopus who has
I don't know, dude.
eight lungs. That's
if
not
you
true.
see the movie, it's fine on land. Piranhaconda is the same, so it doesn't matter where it is.
I think, I personally think that Piranhaconda might have the advantage just because I've never seen the movie, but if that Piranhaconda got them teeth like piranhas do, I think they could just bite off all the tentacles like Pac-Man, waka waka waka. You know what I mean?
But then he's still a shark.
Yeah, so
Like,
the shark can't do anything if he has no tentacles.
also, can't they like regrow their limbs or some shit?
It'd
Or
take
am I
him like a
wrong?
few years. By that point, Piranhaconda's off conquering the world.
What are they fighting over? I think it's a question of willpower, right?
Are they fighting over the last fillet of fish at McDonald's?
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, probably.
Oh, really? Okay, I don't know if
Are they
Sharktopus wins that one. Maybe
Yeah.
if it was a McRib.
What? Yeah, I think sharks are more. I think Sharktopus is more into McRib. While
yeah,
but then we have plenty of those. I mean, they come back every year.
exactly. Yeah.
But at some point, we're gonna run out of fillet of fishes, and I think that's when Piranhaconda's gonna come out of the ocean from the
Gonna
depths
strike.
of Godzilla shin and whatever. Godzilla shin, by the way, is the ocean that Godzilla is in.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank
Just
you.
so you guys, it's
Is
scientific.
Godzilla just like a spectator? Does he not really care for McDonald's? Is he more like a Taco Bell kind of guy?
Yeah, Godzilla's more of a Taco Bell kind of
He
guy.
just wants his Baja Blast, Like he doesn't
Yeah,
his
yeah.
Crunch Wrap Supreme.
Yeah, that's exactly what he wants. Next question. I think we're killing
Alright,
it. Next
alright,
question.
Yeah, I think we're.
All right. What is the purpose of the color brown?
What?
Yeah.
What do you?
What's its purpose?
To make the brown crayon.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just the crayon. No colored pencils. You don't give a shit about those.
Nah, crayons are better.
Purpose of the
Colored
color-
pencils are for the rich suburban schools. All right. Yeah, well, crayons are for the everyman.
Wait,
I am the everyman.
which costs more? Which costs more? I gotta look it up now. I'm looking up on my phone. Which costs more? Colored pencils or
Crayons cost less.
They
Are
do
you
cost less.
Do
They're,
they?
like,
Are you sure?
nice colored pencils, because nobody wants to use a crayon. Like kids
What
buy
did you
those,
say?
right? When was the last time you used a crayon to color something in?
What do you call them? Crayon?
Crayon?
Crayon.
Crayon.
Crayon. Crayon.
Crayon. It's so weird to say. Like, why would
A
I?
crayon. Okay.
I don't know. Andy, how do you say it?
Now you got me thinking about how I'm saying it.
Crayon. Crayon.
Crayon.
Crayon.
I think I'm like in between like a crayon.
Crayon. Yeah. See?
Oh, that's also different.
See?
Yeah, a crayon.
What?
I don't know. The funny thing is we're all from Illinois, so, and we all say the
Well,
same
no,
things differently.
I lived in California for like 9 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, there's that then.
Oh.
But like,
Brag
Matt,
about it.
you always lived in Illinois.
Yeah. Basically.
And then, like,
so
Andy,
so we could
you-
So Chris, you say it.
Crayon.
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 We all say it differently.
We're so fucking dumb.
It's so stupid.
So it's just for the crayons.
The three horsemen of the apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
Yeah.
There has to be a fourth. Somebody probably says like crayon.
Crayone.
Crayon.
What's Spanish for crayon? I don't want to say because I know.
I don't know. Probably. I don't know.
I don't want to give away my secret weapon that quickly.
Okay, I have a bit of a different answer than Matt.
Okay.
I think the purpose of the color brown is for trees. Imagine if you saw a tree that was like neon yellow at its trunk.
Bro, they'd be lit.
It'd be ridiculous. Like, you know how weird the
Oh,
world
the
would
yellow
look
tree, right?
if most trees were not like brown. Like, I get there's kind of different colored trees, but for the most part, they're like brown or brown with some, like, you know, like with some other color kind of in there. But imagine if it was just all like blue or something. That would be so weird.
This is probably really easy to find out, but who came up with the idea of colors?
I don't know. It's probably
Like,
not
who's the
difficult
first
to figure
person
out.
like I guess that's green? Like, I don't know. What else do I
George-
call it?
George
Foreman?
William Color the second.
Oh, Mr.
That's who
Color.
it was.
Yeah,
right.
that's what it
Mr.
was.
Color, as he is
100%.
infamously named.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Next question.
So funnily enough, Chris brought up trees, and my next
Oh,
question
no.
is,
Nice.
where do trees come from?
Where do trees?
Where do trees come
Where do
from?
trees come from? Trees?
Yeah,
The ground.
where do trees come from? but where did they come from? Like
Thank
initially,
you.
bro.
I'll be here all day.
Shut up.
This
Well,
is like the
when a
question of
mama
which
tree
came-
and a daddy tree
Oh my god.
love each other very much. They photosynthesize into each other,
That's not what photosynthesis is.
and they form a new tree.
A tree. It has to be a tree
Yeah.
before a tree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
A baby tree is a tree.
A kid tree is a tree. Yeah.
Yeah, with a K. That's
yeah,
how I
yeah,
intended
That's what
it.
it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
100%.
Andy, I'd like to phone a friend for this question.
You'd like to phone a friend?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Alfred here.
What is that?
I think it's Alfred. He's from Austria.
What do
Is
you
that the
have that?
all-father of trees?
Oh.
Yes, this is the god of all
The
trees.
That's the beginning of the tree population.
Exactly, right?
So they come from Alfred?
Corncob pipe.
Yeah, this guy. He just smokes them out, like right here. He's like, that's where the seeds, you know,
Mm-hmm.
they come out of there and they get dispersed, and then that's where.
Wow, what a way to get born, honestly.
Exactly.
From
Out of
smoking.
Frosty the
I was born
Snowman's
like that.
pipe, dude.
From Alfred's pipe, bro.
Frosty the Snowman. Yeah,
Because he had the same pipe.
that's true.
Fro-
And a button
in
nose.
Yeah, but yeah. And two
Did
eyes
he
made
have a
out of
button
coal.
nose? They say in the song that he had a button nose, but I thought he had a carrot for it.
No, I think you can think of Olaf from
Oh yeah, but
Frozen.
like what? But what snowman have you ever made where the nose is a button?
Wait, I thought
Nobody
it was
does
a carrot.
The snowman when I didn't
hold
have
on.
carrots.
I'm
Sometimes you
looking
just
at
don't have carrots, Chris.
Because
Okay.
wasn't there a close up in the Frosty the Snowman cartoon where they put a carrot, they like shoved it in his face?
Dude, you're thinking of Frozen. I swear to God.
No, yeah, no. His nose is a button. It's like a. It doesn't really look like a button. It looks
Yeah.
more like a red blood cell. But like his nose. Yeah. Wow.
What
Okay.
was so Frosty must have been smoking something the entire movie, right? If he has that
Exactly.
pipe in his mouth.
Exactly.
I mean, sure.
Little did you know, Frosty the Snowman, the movie, it was just all
Kids cartoon.
pro-drug. It was pro-drug propaganda, you know, like.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why we have marijuana legal in Illinois.
Hooked on phonics type
Exactly.
shit.
Yep, that's what it is. That's why it is.
Hooked on Frosty.
Don Frosty, yeah. With that, I think we conclude our Are You High segment. Thank you guys for being so willing to participate in that nonsense.
That was fun.
Hopefully, future guests are as ridiculous as you guys are, because that's what makes it fun. That's what I was going for. I just wanted to pick your brains about really stupid questions and see where it goes. So yeah, thank you guys for participating in that. Before we close out, do you guys have any upcoming projects that you guys want to shout out, talk about?
I'm starting a documentary at the beginning of the Creans, and we're gonna learn all about baby trees and where they come from. With the soundtrack pumped up kicks in the background.
Oh man.
What sounds like a good project.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously we're working on dude mode things, so the link to that channel will be in the.
Oh, serious? Okay.
Yeah. Actually, serious projects, you fuckboy.
Yeah.
So obviously we're working on dude mode stuff. As all three of us are a part of that. So link to that channel will be in the description below. And you can just find it if you're listening on like Spotify or some shit. Like go to the YouTube channel and just search Dude Mode Live. I think that's what it is, right?
Yeah, our Twitch is Dude Mode Live. Our YouTube is it doesn't actually have like a user
mode.
link.
Yeah,
yet.
just search Dude Mode and
yeah.
it should be like one of the first things to pop up. It's
for sure.
one of the gaming channels, so you'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Chris is streaming. All of his socials and all of his links will be in the description below. If Matt ever starts streaming again, he will throw that in.
You can go sub to my YouTube. It's Rusok.
Yeah, that'll be in the description below as well.
Something like that. I don't know what my YouTube name is.
And then obviously you guys, if you're watching this, you're on my channel, so you're gonna see everything that I'm working on.
Or
you're on Spotify.
iTunes,
Yeah.
Or you're on the podcast app. Or you're on SoundCloud. Or you're on Bandcamp.
MySpace.
Or you're on MySpace.
Dude, if I post this on MySpace, I'm gonna punch myself. I don't know. I think at that point I'm just getting desperate.
For the meme, right?
No, I'm not doing that. Fuck that.
Oh.
But thank you guys for being on the first episode of Getting High. I think it was really, really fun. I enjoyed this, and hopefully I'll have you guys on again in the near future. So, again, everything will be in the description below if you want to find some of us and find our content and follow us on social. If you enjoyed the podcast, leave a like, and you want to see more and you want to hear more, subscribe, hit that subscribe button. And ring that bell so you get notifications for when I upload. So thank you again, everyone, for being on the podcast. Thank you for watching. If you stuck around for this hour and a half, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye. You better run, outrun my gun.